Hi guys, this is Devan with the UNF Student Wellness Complex. I'm going to take you guys through a power yoga class today. All you'll need is a mat. If you have any block straps or books that you'd like to use, you can feel free to go grab those. As always, I'll give you plenty of modifications, so feel free to take any that you'd like. You can add in any of your own as well. We will go ahead and get started in child's pose. So knees are going to go wide to the edges of your mat, toes together, sitting back toward your heels. Palms pressing into your mat. Maybe the forehead rests here. Maybe you shift the hips side to side a little bit, letting them sink a little bit closer to the heels. Just taking a few deep breaths, inhaling through your nose, exhaling out your mouth. If you'd like to set an intention for your practice, now is a great time to do that. On your next inhale, go ahead and walk the hands over to the right side of the mat. We're just going to stack that left palm on top of the right. Really pressing back and down through that left hip. So you should feel a nice stretch through the whole left side of the body here. Maybe reach those hands a little bit more to the right. On your next inhale, walking them back to center. Exhale here. Inhaling the hands over to the left side of the mat this time. The right palm stacks on top of the left. So pressing back and away through that right hip this time. Feeling a nice stretch from that right pinky all the way down to the left or the right hip. Walking those hands a little bit more to the left. Inhale, walking the hands back to center. Exhaling here. Inhale, coming up into tabletop. So shoulders over your elbows, over your wrists, hips over your knees. We'll take a few cat-cows to loosen up the spine. So as you inhale, pulling that belly button down towards your mat, rolling the shoulders back, looking up toward the ceiling. As you exhale, rounding the back, tucking the chin, looking towards your knees or belly button. Inhale, pulling that belly button back down toward the mat. Exhale, rounding the back. Go ahead and take a few more, following your own breath. Going at whatever pace feels good for you. Feel free to roll out your wrists here as you go. Maybe bring the palms face up or bring the fingertips towards the knees. One or two more in each direction. When you're ready, coming back to a neutral spine, so straight flat back here. We're going to tuck the toes under, press the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Let's go ahead and just pedal out the feet a little bit here. Bending one knee at a time. Pressing down through all 10 fingertips here. Letting the shoulders roll away from the ears. Loosen up whatever you need to here. And then go ahead and just slowly walk the feet up to meet your hands. We're going to come into a forward fold. So you can take a regular forward fold and let the arms hang. You can also grab opposite elbows. Maybe swing side to side a little bit here. Maybe shake the head forward and backward or side to side. And then go ahead and take the hands together behind you, interlace the fingers together. Pressing the palms together, opening up the shoulders and chest. Inhale, slowly rolling the whole way up. Arms are going to come overhead. Take a little back bend here, so pressing the hips forward. Exhaling, hands to heart center. Inhale the arms overhead. Exhale as you forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Hands come to your shins. Exhale, fold. For this first chaturanga, we're going to step the feet back, drop down to the knees. Keeping those elbows tucked in, we're just going to lower all the way down onto our stomach. As you inhale, keep those elbows tucked into your sides, pressing your chest and belly off the mat for cobra. Exhale, lower back down. As you inhale, press the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Go ahead and walk, step or jump, both feet between your hands. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come on up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Shoulders roll away from the ears. Exhale, fold. Step or jump your feet back. This time, you can drop to your knees if you'd like, or you can stay up on your toes. We're just going to shift the weight forward. As you exhale, lower halfway down, keeping those elbows tucked in. Inhale, upward facing dog. So thighs and belly off the mat this time. As you exhale, tuck the toes, downward facing dog. So those are your two options for chaturangas today. If you don't want to do either of them, feel free to just skip it and step yourself back to downward facing dog, and we'll meet back there. So go ahead and walk, step or jump, both feet between your hands. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, coming the whole way up. Exhale, hold. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, chaturanga, any version that you like here. So you can drop to the knees, you can stay up on the toes and lower halfway. You can skip it and step yourself back. So totally up to you. We'll meet in downward facing dog. And from here, we're going to go ahead and inhale, lift that right leg toward the ceiling. Exhale, keep that right leg lifted. We're going to roll forward into a high plank, just with that left foot planted. Then we're going to bring right knee to right elbow, right ankle across to the left side of the mat. So we're going to come into pigeon. Go ahead and untuck those left toes. We're going to inhale, straighten, lengthen the spine. Exhale, walk the hands forward. Just going to take a little fold over that right shin, so making sure that left hip is tucked down towards your mat. You've got a few options. You can stay here. You can come into king pigeon, mermaid. You can take that left arm and thread it underneath of the right. If this is too much or you have injuries to your knees, you can roll yourself over and take a figure four on your back. So you'll cross that right ankle on the left thigh. Pull that left knee in and go ahead and wrap your hands around that left shin. You can also do it in a chair. So take any of those options you'd like. We'll stay here for a few breaths. On your next inhale, go ahead and come on back to center, walking your hands in, roll yourself over if you're on your back. We'll go ahead and tuck those left toes under, plant the hands, take that right leg out behind you, and then go ahead and bend that right knee, open up the right hip, so stack that right hip on top of the left. Try to keep all of your weight equally between the left and the right hand here. If you want to flip your dog, go ahead. And then go ahead and flip yourself back over, drop that right foot to the mat. We'll go ahead and inhale that left leg behind us for three-legged dog. Roll yourself forward into that plank. And then we're going to pull left knee to left elbow. Left ankle goes across the mat to the right side. We'll drop that right chin down, untuck the right toes, and then pigeon on this side. So go ahead and inhale, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, walk the hands out in front of you. Maybe thread that right arm under the left. Maybe come into king, pigeon, mermaid. Roll yourself over for a figure four, up to you. So a few breaths here. Making sure that right hip is tucked down, both hips square to your mat here. Maybe try to sink a little bit deeper. And your next inhale, go ahead and walk the hands back in. Bring yourself back to center. Roll yourself over. Wherever you're at, we're going to plant the hands. Tuck those right toes under. Kick that left leg out behind us. And then bend that left knee, open up the left hip, stack it on top of the right here. Feel free to flip your dog if you'd like and drop that left foot to the mat. And go ahead and drop that left foot down to the mat. Walk, step, or jump both feet between your hands. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come on up. Exhale, hands are going to come to heart center. We're going to come into chair. So toes together, heels about an inch apart. We're going to sit the hips back, tailbone tucked under. So all of your weight back in your heels here. Maybe lift up and wiggle the toes a little bit. And hands can either be at heart center or you can bring them up by your ears, up to you. Go ahead and sink those hips a little bit deeper. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale to downward facing dog. Inhale that right leg behind you for three-legged dog. As you exhale, we're going to step it between the hands, warrior one. So right knee stacked over the right ankle, pressing down through the outer edge of that left foot. Hips square towards the front of the mat as best you can. So really pulling that right hip back, pressing that left hip forward. Inhale, straighten out that right leg. Exhale, sink the hips a little bit deeper. Inhale, straighten out that right leg. Exhale, we're going to bend just at the hips. Take a fold over that right leg. So nose towards that right knee here. Go ahead and bend into that right knee. We're going to pull that left heel off the mat. Walk that right foot a little bit wider, and we're going to come into a lunge here. So you can stay here for crescent lunge, or you can drop to that left knee for a low lunge, up to you. We're going to inhale the arms overhead. Exhale, sink the hips a little bit deeper here. Again, that right knee is still stacked over that right ankle. Can maybe walk the feet a little bit wider apart if you're having trouble balancing here. And go ahead and drop the hips a little bit deeper. And then go ahead and reach back just a little bit for a small back bend here. Coming back to center. Exhale, hands are going to come to heart center, and we're going to take a little twist to the right. So left elbow is going to go to the outside of that right knee, really pressing yourself up and away from that right leg with the left elbow. Try to twist a little bit deeper on your next exhale. And then inhale, come on back to center. We're going to plant the hands, kick that right leg out behind us. And then keeping that right leg lifted, go ahead and roll yourself forward into a plank. We're going to exhale, lower down halfway. Drop that right foot, untuck the left toes. Inhale to upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Walk, step, or jump both feet between your hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hold. Inhale, come on up. Exhale, hands are going to come to heart center. We're going to come into chariot here and then do the other side. So hands to heart center or by your ears, tailbone tucked under here. And this time we're going to go ahead and shift our weight from the heels into our toes. Lift the heels off the mat, sink the hips a little bit deeper. And maybe press up a little bit higher onto the toes. Sink the hips a little bit deeper. Exhale, forward fold, drop the heels. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, chaturanga. This time we're going to inhale, lift the left leg behind us. Exhale, step it between your hands, warrior one. So left knee stacked over the left ankle, pressing through the outer edge of that right foot this time. Pulling that left hip back, pressing the right hip forward. Inhale, straighten out that left leg. Exhale, sink in a little bit deeper. Inhale, straighten out that left leg. Exhale, lengthen through the spine and bend just at the hips, so straight flat back as you fold over that left leg. Tiny little bend in that left knee here. Hands can go wherever they're comfortable. So from here, go ahead and plant the hands. We're going to lift that right, we're going to bend into the left knee, lift the right heel off of the mat, and then walk that left foot a little bit wider. We're going to come into crescent lunge on this side, so up on that right the right toes, right heel off the mat, or you can drop down to that right knee. Totally up to you. We're going to inhale the arms overhead. Exhale, drop the hips a little bit deeper. Sink the hips a little bit deeper. Then go ahead and lean back for a little back bend here. Maybe widen your stance a little bit if you're having trouble balancing. Come on back to center. Exhale, hands come to heart center. We'll take a little twist to the left this time, so right elbow to the outside of that left knee. Really using that right elbow to press yourself up and away from that left leg. Try to twist a little bit deeper on that next exhale. Inhale, come on back to center, plant the hands. We're going to kick that left leg out behind us for three-legged dog. And keeping that left leg lifted, go ahead and roll yourself forward into a plank. We're going to lower halfway. Drop that left foot, untuck the right toes. Inhale to upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. So we'll stay here for a few breaths. Grab some water if you need to. Otherwise, you can pedal out your feet a little bit. Shift your weight around, loosen up anything else that you need to now that we're a little bit warmed up. Remember to let those shoulders roll away from the ears. Pressing down through all 10 fingertips here. Maybe lift onto the toes and then let the heel sink a little bit deeper towards the mat. On your next inhale, go ahead and walk, step or jump both feet between your hands. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, coming the whole way up. Exhaling, hands are going to come to heart center. This time, we're going to come into chair with feet about hip width apart. So go ahead and take your feet wide. We're going to sit back. Hands can come to heart center here. So all of your weight still back in your heels. Go ahead and sink the hips a little bit deeper. Exhale, forward fold. And then from here, we're going to walk the feet a little bit wider still. And then we're going to drop the hips towards our mat. Maybe turn the toes a little bit more outwards. We're going to come into a deep squat. So elbows to the inside of the thighs, palms together. And readjust here if you need to. So pressing the hips open with the elbows. If this is too much, you can sit on a block or a stack of books here, maybe some pillows. If you practice crow, headstand, tripod, you can also take any of those options here. Otherwise, make sure to keep a straight flat back here. Really pressing down into the heels. Maybe close the eyes, test your balance a little bit while you're here. And one more big inhale. One more big exhale. At the end of your exhale, go ahead and plant the hands. We're going to straighten out the legs. Walk them even wider and come into a wide leg forward fold. So just go as far as you're comfortable. You can maybe walk the palms out a little bit, maybe drop to the forearms or the top of your head. And then just start to bend one knee at a time. Shift your weight side to side. Loosen up the inner thighs a little bit here. Come on back to center when you're ready. We're going to come up onto the palms if you're not already there. We're just going to walk our hands over to that right foot. The left hand is going to plant on the mat. Inhale as you open up that right arm toward the ceiling. So trying to stack that right shoulder on top of the left shoulder. Feel free to readjust if you need to here. Go ahead and drop that right hand down. We're going to walk the hands back to center. Exhale here. And inhale, walk those hands over to the left side of the mat. Stack that right hand onto the mat, and then stack that left shoulder on top of the right. So really pulling up through those left fingertips. Try not to sink and cave into that right hand. And go ahead and drop that left hand down to the mat. Walk the hands back to center. We're going to just slowly walk the feet back in. So heel toe them together. Toes are going to come together and we're just going to roll the whole way up. Arms are going to come overhead. Exhale, hands to heart center. We'll do a little bit of balance here. So we're going to come into eagle first. We'll start on the left leg. So right leg is going to wrap over top of the left. You can keep those toes on the mat for a little bit more stability. So right leg wraps over the left, right arm wraps under the left. So really pulling up through the arms and sinking a little bit deeper into the legs here. So you should feel a nice stretch through the backs of your shoulders and upper back here. Really pressing those arms up and forward. Maybe sink those hips a little bit deeper. And we're going to go ahead and unwrap the legs. Just take that right ankle onto the left thigh. And then sink back down. Keep the arms wrapped here. And then we're just going to slide that right leg back down. So toes are going to come to the mat this time. We're just going to straighten out the legs, unwrap the arms, and just take a little fold here. So just legs crossed at the ankles. If that's too much, you can uncross the legs and take a regular forward fold. Otherwise, just a little bit of a twisted stretch here. And slowly come on up. We'll switch sides, shake it out if you need to. And then this time, the left leg is going to cross over the right. Left arm is going to go underneath of the right. So really lifting through the arms, sinking into the hips, sinking into that right leg. Sink a little bit deeper. And then we're going to go ahead and uncross the legs. So just that left ankle is resting on the right thigh. Arms still crossed here. Keeping that tailbone tucked under. Really sinking into that right leg. And then we'll take that little cross leg forward fold here. So slide that right leg, left leg down the outside of the right. So it crosses the ankles. And then uncross the arms, take a little forward fold here. Again, feel free to readjust if you need to. Mine is good. And go ahead and slowly come on up. Uncross the legs, shake them out if you need to. And then hop on up to the top of your mat again if you're not already there. We're going to inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Roll those shoulders back. Exhale, fold. Step or jump the feet back. And lower down. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. So from here, we're going to inhale, roll forward into a plank. You can drop to your forearms here if you'd like. We're going to do a little bit of abs. So palms or forearms, up to you. We're going to start with a side plank. So go ahead and bring that right hand or forearm to the center of your mat. You can drop down to that right knee if you want. You can lift that left leg if you want a little extra challenge, totally up to you. We're going to take that left arm overhead, and we're just going to thread it underneath of the right arm. So inhale, come on up. Exhale, thread it under. So we'll do 8 on this side. Keeping those hips lifted. Yeah, I think that's 7, so we'll do one more. Come on back up. We will roll back to center, switch sides. So take that left hand or forearm to the center of your mat. Feel free to drop down to that left knee if you'd like. We're going to inhale that right hand toward the ceiling. So keeping that right hip lifted. Exhale, thread it under. Inhale, lengthen. So 8 on this side. Feel free to speed it up or slow it down. Just follow your own breath here. I think that's 5, so we'll do 3 more. Keep those hips lifted here. I'm not sure if that was 7 or 8, so we'll do 1 more for good measure. Straighten it back up. Then go ahead and roll yourself back to center. High plank, low plank, wherever you're comfortable. Keep those hips tucked under, shoulders pressed away from the ears. We're just going to hold here for a few breaths. So go ahead and drop down to the knees. Press yourself back, so hips stacked over the knees. We're going to walk the hands out in front and just drop your forehead, chin, chest, whatever you can reach down to the mat. Come into puppy pose. Just take a few breaths here. If you want a little bit extra in the shoulders, you can kind of press the elbows into the mat, bring the palms into prayer behind your head. And then shift the hips back a little bit, dragging the elbows along the mat. You should feel a nice stretch through the back part of your arm, around your tricep. Here. Good. So go ahead and uncross the arms if they're behind your head. We're going to come all the way down to our stomachs. We're going to do a little bit of back here just to get the other side of the core. So we're going to do some Supermans. Hands can either come in front of you or behind your head, wherever you're comfortable. We're just going to lift first the upper body and then the lower body and then everything together. So pressing down through the thighs, the tops of the feet. Just going to inhale, lift the upper body, as much of it off the mat as you can here. So straight, neutral neck. Lift a little bit higher. A little bit higher. And lower down. So we'll do the other side this time. So we're going to lift our lower body. If you're a little bit more comfortable or have more stability, you can plant your hands behind you next to your hips on the mat here. Up to you. So whenever you're ready, go ahead and inhale. Kind of zipper the thighs together. Lift the thighs, knees, shins, tops of the feet off the mat. Lift a little bit higher. A little bit higher. Squeezing the glutes here. And lower down. So this time we're going to lift everything for an actual Superman. We'll do 3 of these full body ones. So whenever you're ready, go ahead and inhale, come on up. Squeeze everything together. Exhale, come on down. Do inhale, come on up and squeeze everything. Lower down. One more. So take a big inhale here. Lift and squeeze everything. Come up a little bit higher. Squeeze a little bit tighter. And come on down. Go ahead and press yourself up into a seated position on your mat. Legs are going to come straight out in front of you. We're going to inhale the arms overhead. So straight flat back here. As you exhale, take a little forward fold. Inhale, come on up, straight flat back here. Exhale, fold a little bit deeper. If you've got a strap or some books or a block, you can use that here. Maybe wrap the strap around your feet. Maybe stick the block or books behind and grab wherever you're comfortable. Inhale, come on up. We're going to take the right leg, cross it over top of the left. So you can keep that left leg straight out in front, or you can tuck it behind you here, as long as you can keep both hips on your mat. You're going to inhale that left arm overhead. Exhale, left elbow to the outside of that right knee. So with each inhale, try to come a little bit back towards the front. With each exhale, try to twist a little bit deeper. Inhale, come on back to center. Uncross the legs and we'll switch sides. So left leg crosses over the right. Right leg can stay straight out in front of you, or you can tuck it behind you. This time we're going to inhale that right arm overhead. So straight flat back as you exhale, bring that right elbow to the outside of the left knee. Again, with each inhale, try to untwist a little bit. With each exhale, try to twist a little bit deeper. Inhale back to center. Go ahead and uncross the legs. We're going to come all the way down onto our backs. So you can keep that left leg either bent or straight out in front of you. We're going to inhale that right leg toward the ceiling. Grab a hold of it anywhere that it's comfortable. And just take a few circles with that right ankle. Switching directions when you're ready. Pull that right leg a little bit closer. And then we're going to go ahead and grab a hold of the right foot with the left hand. Just take that right foot all the way across your body over to the left. If you want a little bit less, you can bend that right knee. Maybe the right arm falls open to the side. Maybe the gaze follows. On your next inhale, go ahead and bend that right knee if it's not already. Roll yourself back to center. Give that right knee a squeeze into your chest. And we'll switch sides. So go ahead and release that right leg down to your mat. Inhale that left leg toward the ceiling. Grab a hold of it wherever it feels comfortable and just take a few circles with that left ankle. Switch directions when you're ready. Pull that left leg a little bit closer. Go ahead and grab a hold of that left foot with the right hand this time. Go ahead and take that left foot across your body over to the right side. Maybe let that left arm fall out to the side. Maybe bend that left knee if you'd like a little bit less here. And bend that left knee if it's not already. Roll yourself back to center. Give that left knee a squeeze into your chest. And then go ahead and just pull both knees into your chest. Wrapping your arms around your shins. Maybe rock side to side. Maybe rock forward and backward if that feels better. And then go ahead and release your legs down to your mat. Just let your eyes close, find a comfortable spot to lay in and relax for a minute or two. Maybe the legs stay bent, maybe they extend out long. Maybe the palms come face up, maybe they go face down. Just find wherever you're comfortable and then just start to back off any tension you're holding on to. Take a few deep breaths here. So feel free to stay here for as long as you'd like. You can always pause this and come back to it. If you're ready to get on with the rest of your day, go ahead and start to bring some awareness back to your body. Maybe wiggle the fingers and toes. Maybe roll your wrists and ankles. Maybe touch each one of your fingertips to your thumb. And then go ahead and reach the arms up overhead. Extend the legs out long if they're not already there. Just taking one big full body stretch here. Go ahead and pull the knees into the chest one more time. Maybe come into happy baby, maybe rock side to side. Maybe just lay here in stillness. And when you're ready, rolling over onto one side or the other. Keeping your eyes closed, go ahead and press yourself up into a seated position here. Inhaling the arms overhead. Exhaling hands to heart center. Thank you all for letting me guide you through your practice today. You were all wonderful, and until next time,